The Afghan army controls the roads in Kunar, but ISIL and the Taliban contest the countryside. A police escort and armoured UN convoy, one of the few ways to access these areas. Violence between the armed groups has escalated in recent weeks, forcing more than 20,000 people from their homes. Villagers from the worsted area of Chapadara have arrived at this health clinic looking for help.
ISIL arrived in our village and we were dressed like this. We took nothing and we just fled by foot. We left everything behind and came here. Some of our families are still living under ISIL and with the ongoing fighting.
This is SHREENA's son, Mohammed Saeed. He was shot in the leg during a Taliban-ISIL clash.
The situation is very bad in our village. Those who can make it, they can come down here. But those who aren't physically able are stuck there. It's impossible to survive there.
ISIL and the Taliban have been fighting each other in this area for some time, but about 2 weeks ago, ISIL launched a heavy assault on the Taliban in the mountains around here, trying to push them out. We understand they have about 1,500 fighters in this area, from which they launch attacks locally in Kabul and then also further abroad. We've arrived at the governor's house in Kunar to ask him his response to this crisis. ABDUL MIRZAKWAL has been the governor for 10 months. Much of his territory is contested by the Taliban. Now the government must tackle both armed groups.
Our military are on the outskirts of Chapadara. They have gathered there and started battle preparations. They are waiting for special forces to begin the operation. The Air Force will also help us, so hopefully in 3 days we'll capture the territory back.
The timeline is ambitious, and these elders from Chapadara know that. They're meeting with the UN, looking for help. They want temporary accommodation for their families in a government-held area until they have guarantees it's safe to return. Their wives are even more hesitant. These 4 women have 28 children between them. They are convinced ISIL will kill their children and then them. What was the situation like in Chapadara? Did the Taliban come through, or did ISIL come through?
ISIL arrived at our house, and there was a big fight, and we were not able to survive, so we came here. The whole mountain was under ISIL control. We were not able to live there. They kept coming down to our village. There were so many bullets flying.
All those who fled told us they were more scared of ISIL than the Taliban, but that they are the better of 2 evils. The priority now, finding a place for their children to rest until they feel safe to return home. Charlotte Bellis, Al Jazeera, Kunar.